My girlfriend texted, "Pack your stuff. I'm bringing someone home tonight." I replied, "Already packed." Then I left the keys to the apartment I'd been paying for on the counter. Her someone left when the landlord showed up at 9 a.m. asking why rent wasn't paid. I, 26 male, was sitting at my desk working from home when the text came through. Tuesday, 3:24 p.m. Been with Jenna, 24, for 2 years, living together for the past 8 months. Pack your stuff. I'm bringing someone home tonight. Don't make this awkward. I stared at my phone, read it 3 times. This wasn't a joke. Jenna didn't do humor like this. My hands were surprisingly steady as I typed back. Already packed. Because here's the thing, I'd been planning to leave anyway. Just hadn't pulled the trigger yet. The relationship had been dying for months. She'd been increasingly dismissive, treating me like furniture that occasionally paid bills. Going out till 4 a.m. with friends I'd never met. Taking calls in the bathroom with the shower running. But this text, this was the gift I needed. See, while Jenna thought she was the queen of this castle, she'd forgotten one crucial detail. I was the only name on the lease, had been since day one. When she moved in, we'd talked about adding her, but she said why bother with paperwork. I'd been covering the full $2,100 rent because she was between jobs. For 6 months now. Her contribution? Occasionally buying groceries with her parents' money. I didn't pack my stuff, I packed hers. Took me about 2 hours. Her clothes, makeup, that expensive hair straightener, the ring light for her influencer post that had 300 followers. All of it went into the boxes I'd been saving in the closet, neatly labeled bedroom, bathroom, living room. Left them stacked by the door. Then I called my landlord, Mr. Rodriguez. Good guy, always been straight with me. "Hey, Mr. Rodriguez? Quick question. If someone's been living in my apartment but isn't on the lease, what's the policy? They're a guest. No legal rights to the property. Why? You having issues? My ex-girlfriend needs to collect her things. Want to make sure everything's above board." Ex? Sorry to hear that, kid. But yeah, she's got no claim to the unit. You need me to be there when she gets her stuff? Actually, that might be helpful. She's planning to bring someone over tonight. Around what time could you swing by tomorrow morning? I'm doing maintenance checks at 9 a.m. anyway. I'll start with your unit. Perfect. I grabbed my laptop, my documents folder, and a duffel bag of clothes. Called my buddy Tom, who'd been offering me his spare room for weeks, saying I needed to get away from Jenna's toxicity. Remember that spare room? I'm taking you up on it. Finally, what happened? I'll explain over beer. Before leaving, I did 3 things. 1. Took photos of everything, every room, every corner. Timestamp evidence of the apartment's condition. 2. Left the keys on the counter with a note. As requested, I've packed and left. Your belongings are by the door. Lease is in my name only. Please be out by 9 a.m. tomorrow when the landlord arrives for inspection. Best wishes with your new situation. 3. Changed my Netflix, Hulu, and Wi-Fi passwords. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Absolutely. By 5 p.m. I was at Tom's, cold beer in hand, watching my phone blow up. Update 1, next day. The text avalanche started around 8 p.m. that night. Where are you? This isn't funny. Answer me. You can't just leave. We need to talk about this. Baby, please, I didn't mean it like that. Then the calls started. 23 of them. I didn't answer a single one. Tom was reading them over my shoulder, laughing his ass off. She really thought she could kick you out of your own apartment. Around 11 p.m., the tone shifted. You're being so immature. A real man would face this. I'm going to call the cops for theft. Those are my things you packed. You have no right to touch my stuff. That last one made me actually laugh out loud. The audacity. Then came the voice message from an unknown number at 1 a.m. It was a dude's voice. "Hey man, this is Dylan. I'm with Jenna. She says you took her stuff and locked her out. That's messed up. You need to come back and sort this out, like adults." Dylan. So that's who she was bringing home to my apartment. I didn't respond, but I did screenshot everything for my records. The real entertainment started at 9:07 a.m. when Mr. Rodriguez showed up. Jenna started texting frantically. "WTF, the landlord is here. He says I'm not on the lease. You didn't tell me he was coming. This is harassment. Dylan left you, asshole. I have nowhere to go." Mr. Rodriguez called me around 9:30. "Son, your girlfriend is having a complete meltdown. She's claiming she lives here, but I've explained she's not on any paperwork. I've given her an hour to remove her belongings. Ex-girlfriend. And thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. She also tried to say you were the one not on the lease. I had to show her the documentation. The young man with her looked very uncomfortable and left about 5 minutes ago. Dylan bounced the moment he realized Jenna had been lying about whose apartment it was. Beautiful. Then came the call from Jenna's mom, Diane. I actually picked this one up because I'd always liked Diane. Honey, what's going on? Jenna's hysterical, saying you threw her out. I forwarded her the screenshot of Jenna's original text. Long pause. She sent this to you? Yesterday afternoon, while I was working. Oh honey, I'm so sorry. She told me you cheated and she caught you. Diane, I've been paying her rent for 6 months while she finds herself. I've never cheated. She texted me to leave so she could bring Dylan over. Dylan? Who's Dylan? That's what I'd like to know. Another long pause. I'll come get her, and her things. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You deserve better. Around noon, Jenna sent one last barrage. You've ruined everything. Dylan won't talk to me now. I'm homeless because of you. I hope you're happy. You'll never find anyone like me. I responded once. I know. That's the point. Then I blocked her number. Update 2, 1 week later. Thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Wednesday morning, I get a call from my boss. Someone had sent an anonymous email to HR claiming I was unstable and violent and had thrown a woman onto the street. The email included selective screenshots of Jenna's texts, making it look like I'd randomly kicked her out, conveniently omitting her original message. Fortunately, my boss knows me well. I showed him the full conversation, including the timestamp of her original "pack your stuff" text sent while I was logged into our work system from home. Jesus, he said. She really tried to play you like that? And now she's trying to get me fired. Don't worry about it. I'll handle HR. Document everything, though. But Jenna wasn't done. Thursday, I started getting Venmo requests. Rent assistance, $2,100. Emotional damage, $500. Moving expenses, $300. Time wasted, $1,000. Each one with increasingly unhinged notes about how I owed her for establishing residency and domestic partnership rights. I screenshotted them all and sent them to a lawyer friend who literally laughed. She has absolutely nothing. She was a guest. Keep those, though, in case she escalates. Friday brought a new development. Tom showed me Jenna's Instagram story. She'd posted a crying selfie with the caption, "When you think you know someone for 2 years and they leave you homeless overnight. Narcissistic abuse is real. #domestic violence survivor starting over." The comments were mixed. Some of her friends were rallying around her with "men are trash" energy. But then something interesting happened. Dylan's ex-girlfriend found the post and commented, "Is this why Dylan was at some random apartment at 1 a.m. last Tuesday, when he was supposedly at his brother's?" The comment got deleted, but not before several people saw it and started asking questions. Turns out, Dylan had a girlfriend of 3 years. Had. By Saturday, the narrative was crumbling. One of Jenna's friends, Alicia, who I'd always got along with, messaged me. "Hey, just wanted you to know not everyone's buying her story. She told 3 different versions at brunch. First you cheated, then you were abusive, then you were controlling. Also, she admitted she'd been talking to Dylan for months. Sorry you had to deal with this." Sunday afternoon, I get a text from an unknown number. "This is Dylan. I want to apologize. She told me it was her place and you were a stalker ex who wouldn't leave. I didn't know the situation. I'm dealing with my own mess now thanks to this. She played us both." I didn't respond, but I did appreciate the confirmation that she'd been lying to everyone. Monday, the grand finale. Jenna's dad, Robert, called me. Robert's a stand-up guy, old school, believes in accountability. "Son, I need to apologize for my daughter. Diane showed me everything. We're mortified. I appreciate that, Robert. I want you to know we're not enabling this. She's staying with us, but she's got 30 days to find a job in her own place. No more free rides." "You don't have to." "Yes, I do. You supported her for 6 months while she lied to us about working. That ends now. Also, did she really try to get you fired?" "She did." He sighed heavily. "We've failed somewhere as parents. I'm sorry, son. You're a good man. Don't let this sour you on relationships. That actually meant a lot." Final update, 3 weeks later. Life has a funny way of serving justice. Remember Dylan? Well, his now ex-girlfriend reached out to me. Not for anything romantic, she just wanted to compare notes. Turns out Jenna had been promising Dylan she was single, living alone, and that I was just some creepy ex who kept showing up. She'd been meeting him at hotels for months, paying with a credit card her parents didn't know about. The ex-girlfriend, Mika, was savage. She put together a whole timeline with receipts and posted it in their friend group's chat. Jenna's reputation imploded overnight. Even her ride-or-die friends started distancing themselves when they realized how many lies she'd been telling. But the real karma came from an unexpected source, the apartment building. Mr. Rodriguez called me last week. Hey, I wanted to check in. You still interested in the unit? Actually, yeah, Tom's great, but I miss having my own space. Good, because I have a situation. Your ex-girlfriend showed up yesterday with a rental application. Used you as a reference, if you can believe that. I actually laughed. She what? She also claimed she'd been a tenant for 8 months. When I told her I knew she was never on the lease and reminded her about the scene she caused, she accused me of discrimination and threatened to sue. Of course she did. Well, I've banned her from the property. Thought you should know in case she tries to contact you. She did try. Created a fake Instagram account to message me. You've destroyed my life. I can't get an apartment anywhere because I have no rental history. This is your fault. I didn't respond, but I did notice something interesting. She'd tagged herself at a new job, a coffee shop downtown. I know the owner through my work. Without saying anything negative, I mentioned I knew someone who worked there. He laughed and said, "Yeah, your ex. She lasted 3 days, showed up late twice, and told a customer our coffee was beneath her standards. We let her go." The last I heard from Diane, Jenna was still living with them, still unemployed, and had started selling her designer bags and shoes to make ends meet. Robert stuck to his guns. She had to pay rent or leave. She chose to pay rent, which meant goodbye to the lifestyle she'd been living on everyone else's dime. Dylan moved to another city for a fresh start. AKA his ex-girlfriend made their breakup very public. As for me, I'm back in my apartment. Got a promotion at work. Turns out handling a crazy ex with grace impressed my boss. Started dating casually, nothing serious. Just coffee and conversation with people who actually have jobs and don't text their partners to leave so they can bring randoms home. Tom summed it up best over beers last night. She really thought she was the main character in everyone's story. Yeah, well, she learned otherwise. Dude, the fact that she tried to rent your own apartment, that's next-level delusion. The best part? If she'd just broken up with me like a normal person, I probably would have helped her with first month's rent somewhere else. I'm not heartless. But instead, she tried to power play you out of your own home, and played herself right into her childhood bedroom with a curfew and chores. We clinked beers to that. Looking back, that text, "Pack your stuff," was the best message she ever sent me. It revealed who she really was and freed me from a relationship where I was nothing more than a wallet with occasional benefits. She wanted me to pack my stuff and leave? I did her one better. I packed her stuff and reclaimed my life. Her entitlement was her downfall. She genuinely believed she could text me to leave my own apartment, bring another guy there, and I'd just... what? Slink away quietly? Pay for the privilege of being displaced? Nah. Actions have consequences. She learned that at 9 a.m. when Mr. Rodriguez knocked on the door she thought was hers. Edit. Since a lot of people are asking, yes, this is 100% legal. She was never on the lease, never paid rent, was legally a guest. I gave her more notice than required, which was none, and didn't touch any of her belongings except to pack them safely. The landlord handled the actual removal. Stay smart, people. Always know your rights.